Alright, good morning. Or evening, noon, night. I switched this program off without thinking. Path does not exist. I've been having weird things happen. Let me have a little look. I need to change. Let me have a little look. I need to change one file. I think M. No. Ah. Alright, so we'll pick that list. This. And then we can say put the volume all the way down. And then let me see, it does seem to work. Okay. Alright, good. Cat farm. So, I'm not sure where this came from, but at a certain point I wanted to have all the cats. Now this is a little problem because they spawn in villages. And then you need to go to the village, and then something needs to spawn, you don't know where they spawn. And then when they spawn, you need to go to them, but they run away. You know, this is why we build farms. Because it's too difficult. And there is a... how shall I call it? An easier way to do something. This is the easy way for cats. It's a giant square, and I'm not exactly sure how big it is, but if you want to build it, I'm gonna assume that this image is the one that will help. So it's 5 and then 1 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So, and 1, 2, 3. So it's 53 by 53. Then a wall around it. The wall is 2 blocks high. And then in the middle you have a little AFK spot. We'll go stand there, and then on top, centered around that AFK spot, is you know, 5 beds with 5 villagers. And then if we go here, let's see, we have a cat. And another cat. Oh my. And I thought there was still another one. But apparently not. So yeah, that's what you do. You stand here, right? And then when a cat spawns, you walk over to them with fish, raw fish. But, you know, they... Oh! Another one spawned. But... in the world, if you're in a normal village, the cats can run away. Here, you know, they can't run away. So that's why cat farm. This is where I got the cats from. Now, if we go to slime frog trial chamber, wheat farm, in the direction of the mud farm, yeah. Let's fly a little bit higher. Now what happened is I had a list of all the possible cats and I spawned them, and then when they when I had all of them, that's when I got 2 of each and I took them with me. Did I take? No, I actually took all of them at that moment, and then I divided them. A 1,000 meters. Whoa! So yeah, I'm not sure how I did that, because it was just over land that I took them with me, but yeah, I took them with me. We just passed the mud farm. We are. So I brought them here, and we have the cats in a building here now. This is the cat building. I had I think I had all those types of cats here, and then what did we have? Fish, and then here is one type of cat. Right, in one room, and then on the other side there is another type of cat. And that these ones, and then these ones, And then these ones. And then these ones. And then these ones. I had a cat we had a cat like that when I was very small. These ones. Black with white. And then over here, these. And then these. And then no, these. And then there is no stair going up. Oh, there is a stair going up, but this is the roof. So yeah, all the cats. But they shouldn't be in a building here. They should be in the zoo. And this building isn't, you know, it's not the best building for, you know, cats. I don't think. I'm not sure what a better building would be. But I would want windows. I want to see the cats, so not in this case, you know, the cats are on the other side of the room because I brought them in and they had to walk in, and the last one decided where the first one was because I just walked further until the last one walked into the room. And then I had to bring them together, but then all of them were in the back of the room while just one is on the front of the room. So I had to move that over with the rest. So, yeah, that's how this came to be. Now, of course, what we need to do is go to the zoo. We need to have a sleep. We need to have a sleep, that's what we need to do. And then let's go to the zoo. I'm not absolutely sure where, but I guess it's that direction, yeah. Well, I'm not sure where I'm gonna put them. And the wolves, and we have different types of dogs now. I haven't collected those yet. I haven't collected those yet, so that's something we still need to do as well. Mountain again. But if we go to the zoo, you know, we can have a little look, like, what is the current state of the zoo, actually? Yeah. We're here, yeah. Let me go into the build shop that I actually built here. This building needs to get a roof finally and be, you know, portal room. Okay, so we are here. So what is zoom out? Zoom out, yeah. This is the zoo. Here is the entrance that, you know, sort of assumes you're coming by boat, maybe. This is the build shop, so that doesn't do anything. This is build shop, doesn't do anything, and then I have a little pen with a few chickens. Not important. This was going to be, I'm not sure, I had all sorts of animals, but there's only goats now. This is where I farm the horns. So for horns you need to stand in front of a wall, wait until a goat starts running towards you, and then move away. And then they hit their head to the wall, and you have a horn. Yeah. But goat. Then this is a building that has cows in it. I'm not 100% sure, but it should have all the... Well, it should have the colt and the... Oh yeah, I'm sure. It's the normal cows, including the colt and the warm ones. Yeah. Then this has the chickens, this building. All three kinds. So we have all the eggs. And it also produces chicken meat and a little bit of feathers. So that's where we have that. Then this is a storage room for food for the animals. Food for the animals. So we have, you know, all sorts of things. Carrots, seeds, wheat. What else do we need? I mean, there are pumpkins and sugarcane. Sugarcane, yeah. There's all sorts of things in there. But yeah, that's here. Then this is a wool farm, so it has all colors of sheep. Then this little building has rabbits. There's a little square in front, so you can walk into all the buildings. This is where the goats are actually sitting. But I just hastily put a few in there. I'm not sure if there's different types. Well, we have a screaming goat. I don't know how to recognize a screaming goat entirely. I think they're all screaming. So there is a little difficulty. But that would be nice if we could get 2 screaming goats and put them somewhere, and then the rest, you know, others. Then we have a little building with all the pigs. Over here is a little shed with some wood in it, because I had some wood here for, you know, building all these buildings. This is wheat, carrots and potatoes. And then over here we have a cobblestone farm. Here is a pen with sniffers. They need to go somewhere else, but they're temporarily here. This is a little, you know, grass field with a a big cherry tree. Then we have a little pond with some fishes just swimming about. There's going to be a breeding facility over here that there's a little bit of layout for, but I haven't built it just yet. So this is a project I need to build, but there are also pens here with several animals. They need to go somewhere, and I don't know where. So there is something. I've been growing spruce trees here because I need a lot of spruce for the roofs over here. This is where the donkeys are. Donkeys, mules, horses. Let's take the whole building. Donkeys, mules, horses, all different types of horses. And then we have the performance breeding facility, where we are now breeding donkeys, and in here we are actually breeding horses. I want to have a few of the fastest, highest jumping horses and donkeys, and then I want to put them in this building. And then I had an idea for here, but I'm not entirely sure. But the skeleton horses will be in this building. I do not have zombie horses, but they should be in here. Mules and donkeys, if they're not here, would be good. Then this building is actually functionally empty. This was a little storage room all the way in the beginning, before all of that existed. This was the first building I ever built in this region, and it has pandas. And then I built this one with the idea of this would be build shop and storage room. But then I just went over and built this stuff here, and this I just abandoned it. So we need to do something with that. I think we can breed pandas because there are different types of pandas. I didn't look into that. I only know there's the one with the slime on the face, and there's the brown one. And then otherwise I wouldn't recognize what they are. So we need to breed pandas extensively. We need to make a bigger building to do that. I'm not sure how, but we need to do that. And then here I have all the llamas, just 4 types, so they fit in this building. We have a pen here where I put the giraffes because one was over there and one was over here. And, yeah, they were supposed to be in a pen here. So I went to get them, put them in a bigger pen here. I mean bigger, higher. So that is good. And then if we take a little look further, I needed turtle eggs, so I built this turtle farm. Actually, it's a turtle egg farm. Right, you feed them, they go to the sand, lay their eggs, they go back to the water, and you can go grab the... So actually, let's fix that. Turtle egg farm. Yeah, turtle egg farm. And then of course to breed turtles you need seagrass, so I made a seagrass farm right next to it. So that we have that now. And there is a little road. And you can see there is a road here going in here. And then this should be connected to that piece of road. But I'm not sure how just yet. Right? Do we do it this way or with a straight line or around that side? I'm not sure. Is it a square? And do you just, run wherever you want? I'm not entirely sure, but there is also a little road here. There is a little road here because that's the exit of the building, and here because that's also an exit, and here because that's also an exit. There's nothing here. That we still need to do. And this road needs to go there. So we have to do that as well. That's about all there is to talk about. We have a giant wheat farm. And then, you know, the flower farm, but we talked about that before. And if you want to AFK, there is a tower here, so that you can go on top. You have a roof, you have a bed. It's safe. And there is an entrance to a storage room underground for, you know, if you harvest the wheat farm, that it can go in there. But yeah, let's visit the farm, the zoo. After we have slept, so that it doesn't rain. I had all the animals on signs over here. That's what we want to collect. And then let's see, camel. I'm probably not going to collect ravagers, because that's just almost impossible. And there's several flying animals: parrot, bat, phantom, alley. I'm not going to collect phantoms. I switched them off. So that too. And then I thought we can make a polar farm with a polar bear and a polar fox and a snow golem. And then you can have an aqua park with axolotl and dolphin and cod, frog, salmon, pufferfish, turtle, squid, tropical fish, glow squid, guardian, elder guardian. So we're not gonna do elder guardian. I tried to have some dolphins. I'm not sure whether they fixed the dolphins, but you can't keep dolphins in Minecraft. They die. So I'd rather not spend any time on that again until we know that really they're going to stay. But yeah, let's go and have a little look. So this is the main road for the farm animals section. This is the farm animal section. And the first part of it is this, where we have goats. That must be a screaming goat. But then comes the problem, which one is the screaming goat? I'm not seeing goat anywhere. Minecraft goat, yeah. So I'm not sure. But they're here because if I don't put them totally confined, locked away from anything else that lives, they'll attack everything. It's then here, cows in pens so that we can get meat and leather. Then chickens. Some are free roaming. Did I not add the blue ones? Okay, let's add blue ones. So we have an egg farm. We have a chicken farm and feathers. And then we have some more eggs. So let's grab a few. Let's add 1 or 2 chickens. Wow, 16 eggs, 1 chicken. "32 eggs, 2 chickens." Wow, that's bad. Okay, anyway, I've been doing trees here and here, which there is still evidence for. And then there's lots of trees for when we need them. I don't know what's in here. Apparently I put the saplings here. Okay, anyway, a row of cherry trees and then some crops. You know, in a handy way to harvest, you just stand in the water, you know, like this, and then you hit and you walk sideways and you can't miss. And then when you reach the end, you just, you know, take the seeds and walk backwards, plant them again, and so on. So, but this is where we get the food for all the animals. Still need to be decorated a little bit more because there's just nothing here. And there's actually nothing there. You know, if it's gonna be wild, then there should be stuff. I should put bushes and grass and all sorts of things, just to, you know, fluff it up, make it thicker. Over here then, as a little sunflower field, because I noticed that they look that, well, this way. So yeah, you can look at them. Sugarcane, for if you need sugarcane. The storage building that had lightning strike. But then we have, you know, potatoes, carrots, wheat, but also seeds, cocoa beans, sugar cane, bamboo, beetroot that doesn't want to grow, a pumpkin, and then also melons. But yeah, this is the farm. Right? These are the farm animals. Chicken, cow, pig, rabbit, they're okay. Sheep, goat, llama. The wolf isn't done. But I'm gonna put it somewhere else, together with the cats. Then sheep, you know, lots of sheep. This seems poor. I may have picked some up, but oh, maybe. Ah, I need to add all the shears. Okay, we're gonna do that. Then we have all Wait a minute. What happened here? These were all types of rabbits. Let's get some carrots. We have some. Let's get some more. And when we walk in, do they... Yeah, they do actually move. So those are the yellow ones. These are white and black. These are white. These are the brown ones, I think. This I'm not sure. And then these are the black. So work needs to be done here to get those brown ones out of everything, and have all the colors separated. Because now, if you suppose you want a cream-colored rabbit, so you would go in there, you would try to pick up a cream-colored one. And you have 3 attempts because the first 2 are the wrong color. And then we also don't know how many there are because they could be just 1. We have more goats in here. And the idea was we can get... Well, we have some over here. And then originally the idea was this was going to be the room, but it didn't work. And then let's go sleep. And have a little bite. And then in this building, the pigs, so that we can have raw pork chops. Yep. Now we have all the pigs. There's a wheat field over here, and then we saw everything over here. Let's first go that way, and then we can walk in the other direction. So I wanted to have a little pond with some fishes. So I made a little pond with some fishes. I do like how the seagrass, when it reaches the surface, how there's just 1 pixel above. That just makes it nice. I'll have to have a little think about what we can still add. I mean, kelp can be added. But maybe we can add some more plants in there. Coral actually could be added. Oh, I'm not sure entirely, but yeah. These are the sniffers. They are sniffing because this reveals stairs going down into a little storage room. And we have pitcher pods, torch flowers, and then I'm going to assume a hopper that is filled, and then probably another hopper that is also filled. Okay, it's emptying. And then we have some eggs because I farmed some eggs. And there is more space, but it's not needed just yet. Now we can have a look at it. This is... Oh, we can't have a look at it. The minecarts go above, but... Yeah. Anyway. And then at a certain point I needed some cobblestone, and you know, there's a point in the game where cobblestone becomes a rare item. So I made a cobblestone farm, and I have a little bit of cobblestone. I'm not sure how do you enable the farm. Oh. Probably with this. But anyway, this is I'm not sure where I got the farm from. Could be Shulkercraft actually. It was a silent tutorial. And then the giant wheat farm that you can harvest with one button, but then starts to work. It takes an actual real-life hour to plant the seeds. Yeah, so, and I'm not AFKing there often or at all, so it's not growing. So yeah, we need to, if I need a lot of wheat, I need to go there to AFK first. And then if we go this way, this is going to be the breeding facility. There's some blocks here, some blocks, and a little bit of hedge, and there's a road. But you know, that's not there yet. Then we have some sort of, you know, grape farm, but it's glowberries. But they only grow if you bone meal them, so they don't grow. And then I farmed some, you know, spruce. This is the building where all the horses are, so let's go inside. Over on this side I have the black horses, and then there is another type, and then we have more of that type, and then we have grey. We can walk out into this section. And then we have dark brown and light dark brown, white, you know, light brown, the other light brown, white horses. And then if you go this way, you can look out. You know, that's where we were just a minute ago. There's a little bit of work over there, because I broke the building that was here, which was almost the same, and that entrance was already there. There was what's it called? There was an overhang, so that this was, you know, this had a roof, but I took out the roof and just didn't replace it yet. So we may have to do that. And then I think the ladder doesn't serve a purpose anymore. Or does it? Well, you can go on the roof, but yeah, so that can go. Then over here I'm still breeding horses to make faster ones. These are the rejects. Oh yeah. Could be interesting. Over here, I have 3 of every kind. So, this is the speckled white horse. I have 3 of them. This is the greyback white horse. I have 3 of them. You know, this one speckled, that color brown, 3. And all the others, 3. That's where you get some rejects. Because if you already have 3 of some kind, and you get another one from breeding, well, that's no good. And we need to make glues with something. I moved these 3 out here. Did I only move 3 of them? Yeah, I only moved 3 of them. So I have more. So I can move more over this side. I have some donkeys in here because we were breeding fast donkeys. But then at a certain point I moved the breeding of the donkeys to here because this is actually an easier system. And I reached about the maximum specs. So I decided it's good. We're now gonna combine the specs. We're gonna make the fastest horse that jumps the highest. But I said horse, but of course these are donkeys. There are also horses, you know, we just saw them. And then there's a lot of sugarcane here because horses. So if you breed a horse, you get a little one. If you want to make it big, it consumes half a stack of sugar. Then turtles. And I should remove this. And then the little seagrass farm. Well, a little road going nowhere. Yeah, so the zoo doesn't end. There's an open space, woods, where we can still build. But yeah, this is the side of it. So I'm thinking maybe aqua animals here. Squid, glow squid. I'm not sure how I'm gonna get them here. No guardians, but axolotls. And of course we need to breed the blue one. So there's a challenge as well, but we've seen YouTubers do it, so we can do it. But yeah, just one thing at a time, because and then yeah, I moved the camels to here because they were going everywhere. Then a little building with the what the heck? With the llamas. I should have 4 of every color. And that is true. So I have all 4 colors. You know, 4 of each color. And then we've been there. It's where the black horses were. This was a little bit of a storage room, and then I would add storage on this side where you can see I started. There's some junk in here. So this should be repurposed for something else. But I'm not sure what, because for animals it's actually not wide enough. So there's a little pond here. You know, you build your first pond with sand and 6 fish, and then you build a better pond with, you know, stuff. Here are the pandas. So you can see I have some of those, and then there should be different ones. That's a different one, and then this looks different. So I'm not sure what the types are, but I seem to have a lot with the slime, so maybe we don't need to breed those again. And then I was gonna build another building like that over here for pandas, but I started and then, you know, ran out. Of spirit. And we can still build something here. You know, we can make an extra one here. I'm not sure about that, and I'm not sure what to do with this open space. But this is the zoo. Yeah, we've seen everything. This actually should be a space to walk with the horses. You know, they have those they have a fenced-off area with usually sand, or it's sand and grass, and you can see where they walked around because that's where there's no grass. But then there is grass where they're not walking. So that's what I want to have here in where the pens are now. Just so that, you know, you can take a horse and walk around with it. And because this is the performance center, I want to make testing setups for speed and jump, although we do not actually need those. Let me show that. I can sit on it and it tells me the speed and the jump, but I don't even need to go sit on it. If I just look at it, it already says, you know, 7622, 5899. So I do not need the testing equipment, but I want to have it here. Just so that, you know, how fast does the horse go? Well, let's test the speed, right? And yeah, that would be good. How high does the donkey jump? Well, let's try. And it would also be a test for me to see if I can jump. Yeah. The what are those called? Armadillo. I have no plan for them just yet. I just, you know, they were new. These pigs were new, and the cows were new, and the giraffes were new. So I just went, looked for them, grabbed 2, found 2, and brought them over here. Well, I had them in... Where was it? I thought it was over there somewhere. Or did I switch it off? I must have switched it off. Let's have a little look. Yeah, the animals village. 6,000 meters from here. So I think it was over there somewhere. I found a little village where I had some of the animals, and I said, okay, so we're gonna do it here. And I just bred them up there, so there's some of the cows and pigs and chickens, armadillos, they're over there. If for some reason these all disappear, I can go there and get more, if they haven't disappeared, of course. So yeah, that's the zoo. I like to keep the terrain mostly as it is, and then, you know, build on top of it or below, or make stairs and roads, and, or sometimes I'll, you know, this was like this, but if it wasn't like this, I would want the stairs to start, you know, hereabouts. I probably would start them here or here, and then you go up. So I would extend, suppose this would end here, I would extend it to here to just have the stairs right in between the buildings. But then, yeah, you just put a fence down and you can... And so the idea is to, you know, have lighting where you don't see it right away, but still have it available. This grass is going to stay like this, because with the fences, you know, the gardener comes by every day and make sure that it's nice. But, you know, it makes sure that the hedge is nice, but then after the hedge, you know, who cares? And then there's some hedges here, because you're not supposed to go there. And then here I made some sort of, you know, glowberry farm. That doesn't, it's just for show, it doesn't work. You need to bone meal the glowberries, so yeah. And then let's have a little look over here. You see, I built two parts of what could possibly be the wall, and then a part of what will be the wall. And this would be some sort of breeding center, so you take 2 or more animals in there, and then you can breed them, and again and again and again. And the idea is that then you would have, you know, you can breed whatever you need in there. Or suppose you need a lot of leather. The farm that I have is good for, you know, to get some leather. But if you really need a lot of leather, you need to breed them in large numbers. That's what this facility will be. It's gonna look like a farm, somewhat like, you know, the horses building looks. But yeah, that's what it's gonna be. You can see that I was already doing that there's cows here because I needed leather. You know, I have sheep because I needed wool. There were no sheep and pig in there. I'm going to say this, and the rabbits are also an example of that. When Minecraft unloads chunks, animals can shift from one block to the other, or from one side of a block to the other side. And if they're up against the fence, they may end up in the other pen. If they're up against the glass, they may end up on the other side of the glass. I mean, I had all the rabbits separated by color. They are not separated by color. I didn't do it that way. I didn't do it the way it is now. So, and then yeah, planted a mangrove tree and just kept the first one because it had the big arch. Thought I'm probably going to have to make a number of them, but then the first one was just good. For things like that tree and also those trees and that tree, I like to use you know, spawned trees. I don't build trees, so they spawn like that. But if it's not the good one, if I don't like it, I will chop it down until I have a good one. So I liked this tree, I liked that tree, they're staying. And those acacia trees, I liked them, so I'm gonna keep them. Right? That's just... You see, there's a row of acacia trees. It grew like this, right? They all grew like this, with the building already there. So this is perfect. They grew like that. That oak tree grew like that. I just planted the sapling. This tree grew like this. I planted the sapling. That spruce, I planted the sapling. This oak, planted the sapling. So what I mean to say is I don't build trees, I just grow them. And yeah, I prefer it this way. But then, you know, you need to choose acacia for this row. And then I wanted a bigger tree in there, so I needed an oak, because it, you know, it can get big. And then there's a jungle tree over there, because I wanted a taller, small oak. But that doesn't actually, you know. So I wanted this tree on the little square. So it's good. It's good. This chest needs to go, and I'm not sure why it's here. This stuff is going to stay. Because when you go and harvest wheat, you get so much seeds. I just throw them in here because I have such a large number in storage and I don't need them. You do not need to feed chickens. So I'm not using them. So they're in here. You know, just make bone meal out of them. And then we have there's some of the sand. We have an auto smelter so that we can smelt things if we need something. Yeah. And that's going to stay as well. I might, you know, this hedge, I may, you know, make it a little square and then make an entrance maybe here, so that you enter on the side, and that actually it's clear for visitors, and I do air quotes, that it's visible that you know, that's a closed off area. Yeah, I also like this type of thing where, you know, you walk around. This has been decorated a little bit, but then not at all. This has been decorated. This is finished. Maybe, you know, this I may add streaks of moss to get the 2 colors of grass, because that's nice. And then you can see that this is, you know, mowed grass, and that it's, you know, meant to be this clean. But no. These guys grew. I didn't ask, but they did. You know, and then a little wall where you can walk down. And there could be stuff over here. But there isn't. You know, and then you can look at the pond from over here. And you can see the fishes swim. They're all in the corner now, but, you know, they swim away. So I'm rather happy with, but yeah, it needs kelp at least, and then maybe some coral, and maybe I'm not sure what else we can put on the water, but I should have a look at it. And yeah. You know, and then a tree in the corner, and you walk here and you can watch. Should this be a fence? I didn't put a fence because then you can walk out of the building and fly away. But, you know, you can walk out of the building and fly away. I mean, so I think I'm gonna probably put a fence here, so that, you know, people do not walk down. It's not decorated there because that pen isn't supposed to be there, even though it's an actual working farm. But yeah, the sniffers and the armadillos would go together in a section. And there was another, I seem to remember there was another weird ancient animal. Fox maybe. No, so there's two of the weird, you know, prehistoric animals, the sniffer and the armadillo. And they actually require the same type of farm. Just a fenced off area with a minecart below. So, that's what it needs to be. And I'm gonna be smarter about it this time. I'm gonna build it as the farm that it needs to be. Because the sniffer farm I have now, I put down the fence, I put in the sniffers, and then I thought, okay, there needs to be a rail. That's a pain. But if you start with, okay, this is going to be a farm with a rail under grass, then you dig a pit and you do it the easy way. So yeah. Now, good. I was actually working in a trial chamber. We had a trial chamber that I've almost completely emptied out, except for the walls. The outer walls of the whole trial chamber. They're still there. I need to go and get them. But in trial chamber 2, I'm actually removing the walls. Let's go there. So now, if we are here... Oh. Okay, so let's do this. Farm needs to be updated. But, you know, it's version 1. What? And then, yeah, there's farms on everywhere. And I put down a tree because I needed some wood. And then this one is the hardest. Because, spawn slime, which is very good. I like farming slime from a spawner. But we'll get to the problem in a second. Which will be solved when we upgrade the farm. So it's gonna be okay, but and of course now they're gonna behave. No, look, this is the problem. There's a slime up there, and he's casually walking around. Casually walking around. Come into the pit. This is the problem. So you're just waiting. Now, what I do they shoot him. And then the little ones, they do jump down. Easier. Yeah, that's it. Some stuff falls in the chest, or in the barrel rather. And then we need to walk back. So what needs to be done? The farms need to be upgraded to the new versions. Which means, for farms like that, the wither rows should be there. Or... wait a minute, it doesn't... oh yeah, put the wall one closer, so make the wall thicker. And then you have one spot, and that's where the wither row should be. So that's there. And then have a collection underneath. Like it's here, you know, there's a barrel. And then a minecart would go past and get everything. And farms like this with... so those are bogged. These are breezes. It should be nether portals, and then in the nether we can collect them and just go there and, you know, chop them all down at once. So that would be easier. Yeah, that would be better. But, yeah. Still need to do that. And now I'm actually taking out the walls. So, where I'm working at the moment is quite difficult. You need to get up and then walk this way and then walk that way, and then you can walk this way, and then you walk this way. You could actually walk up the stairs here. Oh wait, let's walk on top. And this way. This way. And then that is where I was working, but to get there you can't get there on this side anymore. That's why I made stairs. Right. And then, you know, just chopping away. So I'm also chopping away the deep slate wall, which is good for ores. There's a lot of ores in there. And I don't know whether it's because it's river and beach, but there is a lot of ores. So yeah, that's good. So how do we do? I just... yeah. Oh, 3. And then, you know, you get tired, so you do things like this. There's a giant underwater cave. That I've found over here. Look at it. It's huge. And I think eventually it goes up to the surface. Oh, I use the rocket. Oh. Hold on, 8. I hit my head on about everything that was close by. Alright, and then let's so I kept the cave open just a little bit because I'm probably going to go in there again. See if there's anything I want. I've found a lot of iron ore, no, gold ore in this region. So I think there may be some more under there. And if that's the case, then I want it. But yeah, this is something you do while watching TV. Just walk up. Get a little bit more. I always forget to bring the 2 to close that off while I'm not there yet. But yeah, this is the last part of roof I need to remove, I think. And then some walls and then everything will be removed. We need to get, you know, do the upgrades and then it's ready. This is the easiest. You can watch TV. But when I get bored, I do things like that. You know, and then I actually have the TV on. And somebody's singing, but they're not putting the name on screen. I wanted to jump on top. But, you know. Still going to have to try again, because there were a lot of blocks on top, so there we are. Some must have ended in the chest, yeah. Just two, but they still did. Yeah, the corner needs to be filled in still. But anyway, I need to upgrade it anyway, so. Anyway. That's why I said anyway. Because it's anyway. It's a word that we use a lot. Use a lot. Oh. I really like these types of songs for, you know, streaming. It's a good song. You can listen to it. It's a bit, you know, higher in energy, happy, and you're still wondering, what the heck is that music? So it's perfect. Yeah. You know, you can do this for hours. I've already done it for hours. Alright, there we go. Roof is removed. grab all the blocks. I think we can. So I'm just gonna do it. You know, this too, you need, there's no thinking. Oh, I see one more. I should probably yeah, this corner is probably the first. To take out next. So put everything in here. We'll take a shulker box. Put the new one. This is full. So I have to put it next door and then fill it up. There we go. Fun in a bottle. Yeah, I thought that one was going to get activated, but apparently already was. There's a lot in there. I did a little test, you know, have it automated like this, or take out the flour and do it by hand. This is what you get for 5 times with the wither flour. It's half a stack, and then just a little bit, 5 items. But if you do it by hand, you get 5 items, but then a stack, almost a stack, and almost half a stack, plus heads. I don't exactly need the bows, but I need to farm them a little bit by hand, and then I want to have a shulker box of those arrows. Maybe I already have. No. This one actually still isn't full, yeah. See, I would like this to be full, and then we can automate. Yeah. I'm probably going to have some of them have the flour removed for a while. Just harvest by hand, and then put the flour in, and you know, let it work for bones and arrows, especially bones. But And I don't even spectacularly need bones or arrows. And I mean, how I already have 2 shulker boxes of bones and 2 of arrows. As I said, we need some space for potions in the in our base. Big storage. Yeah. We already have 3 shulker boxes of slime balls. Some copper, deep slate, tough. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna do that's what I'm gonna do. And then for the breeze and the slimes, I'm gonna put them in the nether and just let them be there. And then when I go, I'll chop a lot of them at once. This is the second time. I do like the song. It has, for some reason, a very long title. I mean, the file has a very long title. Anyway, I'm gonna go digging and watching TV. So that's gonna be it for this stream. But yeah, we saw the cat farm, we saw the cats, we saw the zoo. I'm gonna move the cats when I have a room, a building where they're gonna go. But the zoo is an extreme long-term project. I mean, it's entirely possible the cats are going to go to the zoo. Maybe that could still take years. Of course, if you know, there's an urgent need for cats, if there's an urgent need for cats for a farm, or you know, because they do something, I mean, we can make a cat gift farm, and maybe I should do that. Yeah, there was a Il Mango had a peaceful series, and in that series he made a cat gift farm because he needed string, and there is no other way to get a string in peaceful. Well, by exploring, but you can't get string from a farm. Oh, so that's why he built, you know, a cat gift farm, because you can have cats in peaceful, and you can make a. So yeah, maybe I should do that. And then we need cats because I think in the farm it has 1700 cats, if I remember. A number in that region. That's a lot of cats. So yeah. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Let's roll the outro. I'm hoping it works. This and then switch to